In August of 2023, a data breach exposed personal details of 10,000 Police Service of Northern Ireland staff. A spreadsheet published online after being reviewed by 4 staff members revealed the ranks, surnames, and locations of PSNI officers, raising serious safety concerns. Mediation in December will decide damages, and compensation could hit £240 million, with an added £750,000 ICO fine. This is a good tabletop exercise for organizations to consider the risks of accidental data spillage from a valid request. NIST's AI RMF is a typical NIST document with great guidelines but no implementation details, and organizations continue to face challenges with AI, including bias and transparency concerns. The IEEE USA AI Policy Committee recently introduced a maturity model based on NIST's framework. It provides a flexible questionnaire and scoring system that offers insights into AI governance, guiding continuous improvement for responsible AI development. It's worth a look if you're still unclear on where to start or what to do for AI governance. California's recent SB 942 pushes for transparency in AI-generated content, which is a significant step forward. Major AI providers must offer tools for detecting AI-created audio, video, and images. AI providers must also include manifest and latent disclosures, which are visible to users and detectable by AI tools. While this may help increase trust, adversarial nations and criminal groups will probably ignore this law and continue to exploit AI for information warfare. Earlier this year, HUD dropped a bombshell requirement that FHA-approved mortgagees report potential cyber incidents in 12 hours, which I thought was a joke at first. In their most recent draft ML, they've extended the reporting timeline from 12 hours to 36 hours, which is more in line with the practices of banks that may have similar reporting windows for cyber incidents. And the new term, reportable cyber incident, focuses on incidents causing actual harm and operational disruption, which is much tighter wording. Finally, they're actually asking for feedback by October 30th, 2024. Hospitals in New York now need to have CISOs under the updated New York State Department of Health regulations for hospitals. These new regulations were first introduced in November of 2023, so they aren't new. Each hospital must establish a comprehensive cybersecurity program. Programs should feature regular risk assessments, defensive controls, and must report reportable cybersecurity incidents to NYSDOH within 72 hours of discovering them. And I like that annual risk assessments must be carried out to ensure system security, which includes penetration testing and vulnerability scans. The new requirements exceed HIPAA's, which only call for periodic reviews. DORA enforcement is coming into effect on January 17th, 2025, and this means it's time for financial services entities to review their contracts with their information and communication technology, or ICT, providers. And if you're at an ICT provider, remember, this is an extraterritorial law, so even companies outside the EU will be impacted if they offer services in the EU or work with financial entities covered by DORA. The main thing to look for is that ICT providers are also required to assist during incidents, either without extra cost or with predictable fees. And for critical functions, which could disrupt a firm's operations or compliance if interrupted, like cloud hosting of infrastructure, contracts must include more stringent terms like audit rights and exit plans. The deadline for EU member states to implement NIS2 passed on October 17, 2024, but many companies may not be fully prepared. NIS2 imposes stricter cybersecurity controls on sectors like energy and health, though only Belgium, Croatia, Greece, Hungary, Latvia, and Lithuania have adopted NIS2 in their national laws. Compliance programs might struggle to meet this patchwork of requirements in the EU, and supply chain security will remain a significant challenge for organizations adapting to the new rules. Under the Cyber Incident Reporting for Critical Infrastructure Act, companies in key sectors must report cyber incidents to CISA within 72 hours of identifying the issue. Paid a ransom? That's 24 hours. As the Department of Homeland Security finalizes the rules for enforcement by 2026, large businesses and critical sectors should start preparing their reporting plans and data retention strategies. The good news is that companies have some runway to reuse their existing controls and reporting procedures. Now that CMMC 2.0 is approved, defense contractors must be prepared to submit their SPURS scores when seeking contract awards that require CMMC Level 2 compliance. These scores reflect implementation of NIST NIST 871 Rev 2 controls. Historically, defense contractors have struggled with only 4% fully prepared for certification and an average SPURS score of -12, according to a recent report. That's disappointing, given that they've had at least since 2020, when CMMC was first announced. I'll be talking about this on an upcoming webinar with Sempersec on November 13th. Pieces Technology settled with the Texas AG over deceptive marketing claims about its AI tools used in hospitals. The company had overstated the accuracy of its AI, risking patient safety. Moving forward, Pieces must ensure transparent disclosures and stop misleading marketing. Had they clearly communicated product limitations and risks from the start, they might have avoided regulatory scrutiny. However, this also means companies must also consider state AI laws in the United States, which is like our complicated privacy law situation. The SEC settled this week with 4 companies over misleading disclosures related to the 2020 SolarWinds breach. Unisys, Avaya, Checkpoint, and Mimecast were fined for failing to accurately report the breach's impact, despite knowing about significant data theft. Moving forward, companies must provide clear, detailed disclosures about cybersecurity incidents. Vague or incomplete statements can lead to civil penalties and damage investor trust, and it looks like the SEC is going to lean into cybersecurity disclosure accuracy based on their 2025 examination priorities. NYDFS's updated Part 500 cybersecurity regulations, effective November 1st, 2024, require stronger governance and accountability from financial institutions. CISOs must now report directly to senior leadership and oversee risk management. Encryption of non-public information in transit is mandatory, and annual testing of incident response plans is required. However, NYDFS's recent guidance letter on AI, while not a hard requirement, encourages firms to manage AI-related risks through existing cybersecurity controls like access management and encryption. This letter gives us an early indicator of how NYDFS will likely impose regulatory requirements on AI in the near future.